Hello and welcome back to the marketing podcast for local businesses, the place where small business owners turn dreams into reality through smart marketing. My name is Adam. I run websitedesigners.london. We are an online marketing agency which is ranked in the top 1% in the UK and London, helping businesses generate tens of thousands of pounds.
And my name's Josh. I'm the founder of ImproveMySearchRanking.com, a specialist SEO agency based in South London. We've helped more than 400 businesses generate over £200 million in sales.
Brilliant. So what are we going to talk about today, Josh?
Today, we're going to be going through the red flags to look out for when hiring or not hiring a web design agency. We're running through a variety of different points. And what's the first one?
There's so many, hey? I guess this could be applied to SEO agencies as well. Well, some of these can be, but or any company really. If you go online and I don't know, let's say you've been referred, or you've had a targeted ad to you to say, hey, I'm a website designer, choose us. So let's call them Websites ABC Limited. You do a Google search. Now, again, this could be you could apply this situation to buying any product or service, not just website designers or SEO agencies, any company. And you go online and they have no online presence, then that's bad, hey, because they're nowhere to be found. They've got bad reviews, again, not a good sign with any business you go for. Or whether the way they've responded to bad reviews. So if they've got a bad review, let's say, or one or two bad reviews, and if they've got one or two and they've got 100 reviews, then obviously you take that with a pinch of salt. That might be just one angry customer, which is few and far between. But if they've got loads, that's definitely a red flag. Okay, I mean, I guess you wouldn't go, I don't know, we're talking about water filters earlier, funnily enough, offline, and I mean, Josh, you wouldn't, I guess, buy some water filter that said that it made me sick, right?
No.
I mean, it's as simple as that. Just have a kind of common sense approach there, but do your research. Just Google them, That's one of them. Another thing. So once you've chosen the agency, do they have case studies? Do they have testimonials? Do they have people, saying, "Hey, these guys are great"? Do they have case studies to show, "Hey, these are websites that we've designed for other people"? And do you like the look of them? Now, talk about targeted ads. I've seen and I've had, in fact, I had a client this week call me up and say, hey, we had an advert targeted to us, and they're a nursery, by the way. They run a nursery. They said, we've had an advert targeted to us, and they said they design a website for free. And immediately I thought, no, that sounds too good to be true. All right. It's like, I don't know if you're aware of those NFTs that were selling last year or something like that, saying if you buy this, you get access to XYZ parties, and it just, you don't understand it, or you don't, if it sounds too good to be true, just steer clear of it. And anyway, this customer didn't steer clear of it. They went with it. Their website was shocking, found out that they didn't own the website, which we'll talk about in a bit more detail in a bit. And the monthly fee was just like ridiculous, but the website was terrible, so you don't want to go ahead with them, right? There's no point of going with them. So free websites, student websites. So you have students posting in these Facebook groups as well, saying, "Hey, I'm looking to build my portfolio. I'm willing to design websites for £50 or £0." Again, you don't expect great things because you're not going to get great things, right? Free websites, building out your portfolio. I've heard it so many times. Just don't do it. It's just worth shelling out, some money for a professional to do it.
One big warning sign I think is poor communication, and in the process of maybe you found 1, 2, 3 web designers and you've reached out to them, and it might take 24 hours to respond to you. It might take one week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Making sure your agency is going to be open and transparent and is going to be coming back to your requests and answering all your questions and queries is super important, at least in my opinion. I wouldn't want to go with somebody who's taking ages to respond and isn't being transparent with what they're going to be doing for us. So that's one major warning sign I'd look out for. And also, I suppose, kind of linked into the free website kind of thing, some web designers, their offer may be too good to be true, as you actually kind of mentioned there. So they might offer the free website, and it will be free up front, but in the long run, it's going to cost you more money. So I'll look out for those kind of strange offers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've also heard I quoted a client once, and they said, I got another quote from a competitor, and they promised that I'd be number one on Google. And I responded saying, okay, so hang on, they're going to design a website for, I think it was like, let's say it's £500 for like 3-page informational website or something like that. And they promised to get your website a number one on Google. What would you be paying a month on a monthly basis? Nothing. So you're just going to pay a one-off fee of £500. They're going to design your website and you're going to be number one on Google. Okay, for what keywords? Well, what do you mean? No, for what keywords? If the name of your company was Ogildy Boogledy, right, which is some weird thing that I just said, right, which is extremely unique phrase. Well, yeah, you're going to be number one on Google. Cool, all right. But if you sell cakes and you're called Ogildy Boogledy, and they promise to make you number one on Google for cakes in London, that's an unrealistic promise. That's probably a fake. Well, not probably. It's going to be a fake, more than likely, and I would steer clear of them. And yeah, I turned back and said to the client, I can't match that. Cakes in London, number one on Google for £500, and your website designed. Well, good luck, and see you later, kind of thing. So that quite linked into that, Josh. What do you think about pushy sales tactics?
Pushy sales tactics. Yeah, not a fan of those at all. So I've probably succumbed to a few of those in the past. In the last 10 years of business, I've kind of fallen for this kind of pushy salesperson when I've not wanted to go ahead with some sort of service, and it's definitely not a nice thing to be on the end of. And having pushy sales tactics from the start is going to put you in the right. You're not going to feel good about the whole situation going forward after that moment. So if you feel you've been pushed into a sale, into working with somebody, you're not going to really enjoy it kind of goes back to communication side of things. So if they communicate in that kind of fashion, it's just not nice, is it? You don't like to be spoken to in that way, or deal with somebody who's going to really try and push you and make you do something you don't want to do.
Exactly. If companies that are pushy, there's a difference between trying to understand your concerns and pushy. So if a client says to us, hey, I'm really not sure, I'll ask her, okay, what are you not sure about? If they turn around and say, I just need time to think about it, I'll leave it there and say, no problem. You take as much time as you need. I'll follow up maybe in a couple of days to see where your head's at. If you're not keen, then that's absolutely okay. No problem at all. Good luck, and I wish you the best of success. And so we're I think we're the definition of the opposite of pushy. So very laissez-faire. We pitch. We believe our work speaks for itself. Our pricing speaks for itself. So, and then we leave it there, right? I think it's we don't want to harass people, right? People who are desperate will harass people. So if someone's pushy, just say no, and just stick to your guns and walk away. Um,
So another red flag, going back to communication, could be the language barrier. So there are a lot of web developers located all around the world, and obviously the quality of their work is probably is good in a lot of cases, but there could be issues with the language barrier. What would you say about that, Adam?
Yeah, I think it's a great point, Josh. Ultimately, if you want to have a cheaper website, sometimes you can go abroad, and where typically they are based in Eastern Europe or Asia, and they will probably be cheaper, but they sometimes might be a language barrier. You may not be able to understand and communicate what you need or what you want, and there'll be so much back and forth that you'll end up spending more time, which will cost you more money, and it won't be worth it. Again, we've had clients that have had that same experience, and they've come to us and then been so happy and wish they came to us sooner. Cheaper doesn't necessarily mean better.
Absolutely.
So you can go on those freelancer websites, whether it's places like Upwork or freelancer.com or other places. Again, I'm not saying these websites are all rubbish, because they're not all rubbish, but just take it all with a pinch of salt. Go with a reputable agency would be my advice, like websitedesigners.london, or Improve My Search Ranking for your website and SEO needs respectively. Don't go for my advice personally would be go for someone who is English speaking, if you are English speaking yourself, and someone who's located in the same country at least as yourself, so you can easily contact them. You know the local law and legislation. If something goes wrong, you know what your mitigants are, what your way to seek repercussions are, whether you need to take them to the small claims court, etc. If you go with someone located abroad, you may have no recourse. If your website goes wrong, you may lose your money. They may run away, and you've lost your money. Right? Simple as that.
So what about contracts, terms and conditions? Any red flags to look out for there?
Oh, okay. So again, real life example here. We've had clients come to us and say, "Hey, I was sold because they made the website for really cheap. Their monthly fee was quite reasonable, but I've decided that I want to to manage a website myself, or go to a different web designer because I want to develop it." And they've said that I have to pay a significant amount of money to have access to my own website. So that's probably because you signed some terms and conditions which said your website will not be owned by you unless you pay a significant sum. So I know we hate reading T's and C's, I'll be honest, I don't always read my T's and C's, but even asking the question to your developer, say, hey, who will own the website after you design it? And for example, with us, with websitedesigners.london, our clients will own it. Once they've paid the final milestone payment for the development and design, they own the website. If they want to go to someone else to manage it thereafter, they're more than welcome to do so. We sometimes even help people move, like, just because for us, service is number one. That's why we're ranked in the top 1%, right? We just believe in offering a good service and helping people, because you never know. Again, real life example, we've had people move away and then come back to us. So it goes a long way, but just ask the question, have a quick flick through the terms and conditions and contracts. Anything else you'd kind of experienced or watch out for in terms of contracts from your experience?
Not from contracts, no, but what you just mentioned there brought another example to mind. And it's kind of another red flag is, does the web designer use a CMS that is easily used by other people, or do they have their own system that kind of locks you into them?
Yes, very good idea. Very good, not idea. Good point even. So what Josh is talking about there, CMS being a content management system, that is the call it the software that your website is built on. Think of it like Apple's operating system is different to Google's operating system for mobile phones. Think of it like it's just a platform where the developer designs and develops your website. If the developer uses their own system, then guess what? They're the only ones that can fix it. It's like if you're buying a boiler and it's not a well-known brand of boiler, instead it's just one company that has made this new boiler. They're the only ones that can fix it. And if your boiler goes down, you can't call British Gas to come and fix it, because this is some wacky boiler that nobody's ever heard of, and therefore you're going to have to go back to the same company, and guess what? They're going to charge you an arm and a leg to fix it, and guess what? They're going to take ages, and guess what? You have no ability to move, you have no leverage to move, you're stuck with them, you're tied in, and you don't want to be there. So ask the question, what content management system do you use? And remember just the stats. For example, website designers.london, we use WordPress because it's used by 43% of the top 10 million websites in the world. So a lot of websites, good web developers will use it, know how to change your website if you want changes done, and make minor changes. And hell, you probably could even log in and try and figure out how to make some changes, although please don't try and do that if you don't know how to make changes. Otherwise, you'll cause your web developer a lot of hassle by changing something you didn't mean to. And yes. So that's a great point, Josh. So that's that. And what happens if the project doesn't go to plan? Now, let's say you're not happy with your website after 3 rounds of changes, and the web developer still doesn't get it. You might want to split part ways. You might lose your deposits and what you've already paid, and again, that's something you're going to have to deal with. But to prevent you being in this situation, do your research ahead of time. Do your Google research. Have a little meeting with them. Ask them, hey, just, do they make you feel comfortable at the talking stage? If they do, then, and you've done your research and there's no bad reviews, then it'll be a good fit, and hopefully you won't be in that predicament. So I guess that's really it. Anything else we've missed there, Josh?
I think we've covered the main things. I think the main thing for me would be checking their reviews, having a chat with them, seeing how they communicate with you, and also the case studies. I guess that kind of links into the reviews and testimonial side of things. Have they done projects that are similar to what you want in terms of the way they look, and in terms of the end result?
Amazing. So just to debrief you guys on what we've covered today, we've talked about the red flags when hiring a web design agency, the warning signs to watch out for, whether it's poor communication, unrealistic promises, the importance of reviews, case studies and testimonials, those ads that you get for free websites, student website for £50, I'm building my portfolio, come and use my web design services. Understanding the contract terms so you know whether you own the website or not. Using web designers and developers that are located abroad in your recourse that you'll have, potential language barriers, and pushy sales tactics. Well, thank you for listening to us today. My name's Adam.
I'm Josh.
And we'll catch you in our next episode. Thank you.